Crafters, welcome back to my channel, Choose Joy with Carmen. And in today's video, I am going to be showing you a little different take on Call Me Crafty Al's sheet load of cards. Because as you may have noticed, yesterday I didn't have my June 2023 video because due to unforeseen circumstances in Crafty Al's life, we had to cancel the June sheet load of cards. But it was suggested that maybe we show one of our favorite sheet loads. But since I haven't done all the sheet loads, I thought, well, I don't know that I have a favorite yet. So what I decided to do was work on the June ones over the years that I have not done. So I did June of 2022 because that's back when I started. So I will link that video when I created that card at the end of this video. But then I wanted to pull in the rest of the years for June. So the first one that I pulled in was June of 2019. And I just made a few little changes to this sketch, and I was able to get 2 cards of each of the 3 designs that I'm going to be using, and just from 2 sheets of 12 by 12 designer series paper from an old an old designer series paper from, it's called Spring Flowers, and it is really, really old. So let's pull in those cards for this sketch. So here it is. And really the only thing that I changed up was on her sketch, she had the designer series paper cover the whole entire front, but I wanted to show a little bit of a border. But because of the way the layout was, I didn't want the border to be at the top, so I just added a piece of designer paper there showing border on the 3 sides. And the only other thing was I added another little banner here so that I could do my sentiment and still have it matted with a color. And then I took in this punch right here, an old Stampin' Up punch, and punched out a few of those little flowers there, and to match the flowers that's in the paper and also the banner here at the bottom. And then I brought in some of the Retired Neutrals candy dots from Stampin' Up and put them in the center. And the stamp set that I'm using for my sentiments is from Massive Thanks. And I used on this one, well, all I can say is, and then you open it up and it says thank you. And then I use a little bit more of that designer paper to decorate the bottom. So I was able to get 2 of this design. So then my next sketch was from the, let's see, the June, let's pull it in here, the June 2020. And again, I just made a few little changes, and I'll show you what I did for this sketch. So here, here's my card. Again, I'm still using just the 2 designer series papers, the 12 by 12 that I got from the Spring Flowers. And again, I added that little border there because she had it on the entire front and I wanted that little border to show. And she also had her sentiment up here on another white banner, but I wanted to really show the paper, so I just put the 3 little flowers over here like I did on the previous card, and I stamped my sentiment directly on the designer series paper. And it says thank you, and then you open it up and it says, I usually just send a text, but this calls for a card. And I had some pieces left over. I wanted it a little thicker, so I used 2 of the scraps that I had from leftover. And again, the sentiments are from the same stamp set, the Massive Thanks. And I used my banner punch here also on this card. So I think it turned out really cute. And again, I used my candy dots here. All right, and I made 2 of them as well. Okay, so then the last sketch that I decided to use was from the June of 2021. And I went ahead and I think the only thing that I did different on this one, I believe, was I added a matting around my circle, and I also added some designer paper in the background here because I really wanted to use up as much of the designer paper that I had from those two 12 by 12 pieces. So let's look at those cards, and here it is. And again, I just added some flowers on the ends there. And this die here in the background comes from All That Dies, and I use that right there. And then I use my 1 3/4 inch circle punch for the sentiment. And I love peaches and browns together, so I think this is going to be my favorite of all that I made. And then again, I did that same sentiment. I usually just send a text, but this calls for a card, and I had enough of that paper to just use the one design on the inside. And then again, I was able to make 2. So really, all I had left over, I mean, besides little itsy bitsy pieces that can't be used, all I really had left over was, let's see, was not much. I had this piece and a couple of the little ones there and a few of this. And that's all I had left over from 2 12 by 12 pieces of paper. So I don't really have a need for this, and I don't like to, if it's paper that I'm trying to get rid of, I don't want to put it back in the pack because there's really not much left in that pack, so I'm just going to toss these, and because I don't have a need for it at this point. But I like that I was able to use that up, and I'm really trying to get as much of my designer paper used up that I can. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the cards that I created for this month's sheet loads, and hopefully we will see if we're back next month with the sheet load. If not, we'll figure out something, right? That's the way life is. Alrighty, well, if you enjoyed this video, you know what I like. A thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. And thank you all who have already subscribed to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, I'm really trying to hit that 1,000 mark, and so I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. Okay, well, I hope you all have a great weekend, and it's raining here today, so that's a good thing that I can be in my craft room. I don't have to be out in my yard today, and we'll see what happens. Okay, well, until my next video, remember, choose joy. And may God bless you all. Bye-bye.